this show started. I just went live on YouTube. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Erotic, Taboo, Sensual Touch. I am your host, Queen Jackie. My co-host, Big Nate. He's actually streaming live from Facebook. Mark couldn't join us tonight. So we've been experiencing some technical difficulties. We're in two different locations. So just sit back and enjoy the conversation. I'm actually talking to Dr. Love on the phone, so we'll be bouncing back between YouTube and Facebook. But just hang in there with us tonight, folks, because we are experiencing some technical difficulties and we're trying to make the best of the situation because the show must go on. Tonight's subject will actually be sexuality, your views on sexuality, and what it means to you. So, and in true erotic taboo fashion, we're going to get naked on it. So, hold on to your drawers. So, big, yeah. Right. Absolutely. So, go ahead. From YouTube. Yes. So, I'm not live from my Facebook because I didn't want to take away from your feed. So, I'm going to put this question out there, but I'm going to ask my YouTube people, and this is towards the men, as far as sexuality. Now, I, it's often said that men are afraid of their sexuality because of the fear of impotence. And I want to know how true that is. And I want to type that question in the group too. What's that? That could be. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Yeah, I like to think I am. Can you hear me? Can the group hear me? Well, let me pose that question to you that I just typed in the group. Well, I asked you, you know, what is your comfort zone where it pertains to sexuality? Um, and do you have a fear of impotence? Okay, they can hit. Okay, great. Okay, so it's often said that men are not comfortable in their with their sexuality because of a big fear of impotence, or because of their fear of impotence. Right. I think that kind of. I'm not saying all men, but I'm saying that that kind of. I think it's always. Well, let me ask you the question: is a limp noodle always in the back of your mind? Right. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna pose the question to you. When you're, as far as sexuality is concerned, is it do you often think of, suppose my soldier don't march? I I didn't say you said it, but is it a fear? You never thought about it. You never thought about it. But it is a reality. Here's the thing. Here's it. Right. Right. So, and that's an interesting point. I think that, and here's the thing, and I'm gonna type it in the group just in case those people can't hear me. But uh, men typically, I mean, your peak is typically between 18 to what, 21. Women, we start peaking at probably 35. So while oftentimes men may be on a downward slope, we're just getting started. Hell yeah. Y'all cannot. That's bull. Right. So I guess my point is, and I'm sure that all men have to think about that. That if we're at 35 at our sexual peak, um, what could you do to keep up with us? I guess that's my question. let me ask that question. Since you're saying that after you get your first orgasm, you gotta lay back and wait for the next round. It doesn't stop for us. We're still waiting for you to get right for the second round. So let me ask a question then, since you say that. Right, I'm not disputing that, but let me ask a question. After your initial orgasm, are you ready to go right then and there for round two? Get naked with it, goddamn it. Don't be acting all shy. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, you know damn well you ain't eating no salad. Let's be clear. But that's right, and that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is this, that we don't need a minute. We don't need a minute to get ourselves together because we're ready. After well, I think we don't have a grace period. That's the point that I'm making. I hear what you're saying, but um, we're not waiting for it to get hard again. Is my point. And no, holla, Shauna, and she's right. We don't need time because we are always ready. I'm via satellite from YouTube because let's face it, folks, the show must go on. Right, y'all. We gotta wait. Here's the thing for women. Once we're in the mood, once we've released our minds and stuff, we are ready. And even after you're done, and you gotta wait a couple minutes, we still ready. We still on that sexual plateau, but we gotta wait now. We're not saying that we're super women. We're saying that. Well, if it's a okay, I'm gonna say this: if it's an earth shattering, or as I like to call it, a cataclysmic event, um, then I might need 5 minutes. If it's but that's my point is that's not often because we are just ready. Well, when you have stuff when there's all kind of motion lotions and lubrication. I think that a woman should not be dry. I mean, there are things that you can do. I thought that was for y'all. What I'm gonna say now, here's the thing, because I've used right, Lashana, that's a personal issue, and I think that yeah, I'm on my best bullshit tonight. But here's what I'm gonna say to that. I don't really, I don't really need the KY. Hi, Vanita. Right to and right. I'm not disputing that. That ain't for that. The douche bottle don't. That doesn't. No, that's to clean you out. That don't keep you moist. That just cleans you out. I'm not gonna say that either, because once they start going through, I'm not gonna say that. What I'm gonna say is that for some that might be dry, a lot of it is maybe they don't know their body, or it might be hormonal. Well, it seems to me that it seems to me that the women got you on the ropes, and now we got you back. You're a damn lie. We got you in the corner. We got you in the corner, and now you don't know what to do. Well, maybe not the ones you mess with. Look, maybe not the ones you mess with. Oh, I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that when we get in the mood, here's what I'm going to say to that. When we get in the mood and you arouse us, and sometimes it's not even that. If we're ready, I never have an issue with dryness like that. Um, but again, I think in those cases it could be hormonal, and I think a lot of women don't know their bodies, and I think that that's a big issue for probably a lot of women. You have to know your body. Right. And like what's it, Nasia, like Nasia said, sometimes they have to be stimulated. Well, that's a factor too. But I think that woman has to know her body, and I think, or or here's my thing. Really? No, it's especially if you eat pineapples. Especially if you eat pineapples. If you eat pineapples, that's what you gonna taste. You must ain't had no woman that ate pineapples. You said what? You do what now? I missed that. Say what? Now you so foul. That's foul. I just told you the pineapples. If you eat pineapples, they definitely. But here's the thing: when you start talking about sexuality, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So since we are talking about sexuality, how comfortable as a man are you with your sexuality? Yeah, and I want you to, when you answer that question, I want you to explain why you're so comfortable with your sexuality. And when, I mean, because for some people, I think some people struggle with their sexuality. I knew at a young age that I was interested in guys, but it's different for everybody. Everybody may not realize that until later in life. Um, and that's why I was saying, okay, you said on a scale from 1 to 10, you knew at a young age you loved women. It doesn't come that easy for everybody. I'm very comfortable. I've always been comfortable. I think I'm probably. It's funny because I think I'm probably way comfortable. I knew at a young age that, yeah, hell, I told you I liked porn. I knew at a young age that um I loved boys. I mean, that was my shit. I love boys. Um and honestly, I couldn't wait until it was time to have sex. However, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20. And the reason being, I didn't want to be in school and figure the first time I have sex, I'd get pregnant. And then I got two parents to come home and deal with. But let me just tell you, I couldn't wait to get my first piece of dingaling. Right. So what happened? So what happened? Why was your first time a bad experience? Okay. You lost your virginity in the men's bathroom? Okay, right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you serious? Wow. Wow. Now I'm gonna judge you on that one because that's some shady shit. It's right. She's right. I mean, some women do have discoloration. Um, because I mean that was that's so superficial. You know what I'm saying? Well, you were 18. Okay. Yeah, that's true. I guess at that stage, we are so inexperienced that we don't. Yeah, you're right. We're so inexperienced at that age. I can see that. Right. Yeah, I can see where that would probably scare you because you think, right, yeah. You had shrinkage. Wow. Okay. So I guess I get it because like you said you were 18. So it's a little different because you're 18 and that wasn't what you were expecting. Yeah. So um yeah, because that's a lot and I guess that's a normal reaction because it wasn't what you expected. Um right. Okay. Now my first experience was um it wasn't great, but I think I just chose the wrong person to lose my virginity to. Um it you know I told you I like uniforms, so he was a bus driver. And let me tell you something. For a woman, it's a different experience because that shit hurts when we do it for the first time. And he didn't know what he was doing. Huh? Right. He was an older guy, but he didn't really know what he was doing. And yeah, it was not a great experience. Well, I ain't want to stalk him because that shit was trash. Um, well, I mean, that's the thing. My first wasn't really a great experience. It was okay. I knew it should have been better than that, but it was okay. And really, yo, really. And I get that, yeah, right. I think when it's funny because okay, with the first guy, um, it's funny. That's funny. I got a call with the first guy. It was uncomfortable and painful. Um, when I met my son's father, I felt like I was just coming into my own, and it felt, it was better. It was a lot better. It was like this is what it's supposed to feel like. When I met my son's father, because he was the second guy I was with, it was better. Yeah, it was right. It was better. I knew what to expect. I think not that so much what to expect. I felt like even as a virgin, and this was an older guy, I felt like I knew more about sex than him because for him to be an older guy, if he knew what he was doing, it shouldn't have hurt. You know what I'm saying? Um, And that was one of my fears too. I thought that I was going to get pregnant for one. And I'm going to be honest with you, before I had my very first experience, and I'm going to be honest, I was getting head before I was having sex. Cuz like I said, I wasn't trying to get pregnant. So when I told y'all last week that it is in the contract that when I'm dating or seeing someone, I will not date a guy that is not interested in performing oral sex, because my very first experience was a guy going downtown on me. So I'm not going to go backwards. It is a requirement. Don't fucking judge me, shit. I'm just saying. Well, and yeah, but you gotta real like, okay, for me, what? So what? You're 36. How old are you, Nate? You're 38. So, but here's the thing. You know, for a long time, black men wasn't doing that. So, but from yeah, y'all ain't had. But think about this. Think about this, because at that time, black women wasn't giving head like that. So everybody in the neighborhood knew the girls that was giving head, because there was a lot of us back then that wasn't doing that. True or false? So you knew the girls in the neighborhood that was giving head because it was rare. I did. That's so funny. He got his look. The the cat. Wait a minute. The cat got his tongue. But I think it's interesting when you think about. Yeah. Okay. So during your first experience, oh, I got lost in the comments. My bad. Yeah, I got myself. I got to bring myself back around. Um, but I'm gonna leave a comment. Uh, so just imagine living an orgasmic life in an orgasmic world. Um, I think it's not such a far off possibility, and I think one of the reasons I chose sexuality was because how many people are comfortable enough in their sexuality to experience an orgasm on um, a higher level. Um, I probably need to put that in the group. I'm gonna put that in the group because I think you might not effectively communicate that. So yeah, it's a hell of a delay. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna ask this question then. Well, since they all can hear me, I'm trying to pose it right. Um, I'm gonna get naked with it. I'm definitely gonna get. I think we live in a society where people are still today even afraid to talk about sexuality. I'm amazed at how many adults are uncomfortable with having these kind of discussions. And with that being said, I think a lot of it is upbringing, especially for people that grew up in the church and you were taught not to talk about sex. So, with regards to sexuality, we are taught to be ashamed of actually having an open discussion about sex. And I think a lot of times people are not able to reach a certain level or pleasure level in sex because of how they were brought up. You know what I'm saying? Um, the fact that even today that people are not comfortable discussing sex, that's like you have a society of sexually frustrated individuals. What you think about that? What the hell is you looking at? Oh, yeah, right. And I think that it's yeah, I think it's that. I think it could be a bad, like Shauna said, it could be a bad experience. Um, and it could be just how they were taught. I know in my household, my parents didn't have open discussions about sex, which is so strange because their daughter was nasty as hell. So it's like I couldn't talk to them. And I have to say, when I first got my period, my mom was so uncomfortable talking about me getting my period that she just told me I couldn't play with boys anymore. Right. So anything I learned about that, I learned from books. I learned because I hung around with a lot of older people that actually went into detail about that, because the way she made it sound, I thought for one, I was going to die because I was bleeding. Two, that if I played with a goddamn boy, that I would get pregnant just by playing with him. So I said for myself, and I know that was a different time because their parents didn't have those conversations with them. But I said when I had a child, be it boy or girl, that I would have an open dialogue with that child because I just wanted, my child to learn the right thing. I wanted that child to be armed with information. I think oftentimes parents are so uncomfortable talking about sex and, when girls come on, I think that it leaves the door open for them to learn a lot of wrong information, and it leaves them defenseless. You understand what I'm saying? Like for my son, and I'm going to be honest, for my son, I think I told you, I remember hearing him. Heard all this noise in his room. I'm like, what the hell is that damn slapping noise? He's in there trying to put a condom on. So I come with my vibrator, because you know me, I'm like, the fuck is you doing? You know what I'm saying? So, so my thing is, okay, I said, okay, well, if he's trying to put a condom on, that means he's thinking about having sex. So I went in my room and I got my vibrator, and I came back in there. I said, let me show you the right way on how to do it. The first thing he wants to know, well, Mom, what you doing with that? I said, this ain't about me right now. I'm just trying to show you the right way of doing it. It wasn't. Well, he didn't need to know any of that, because at that moment it was about him and trying to teach him the right way of putting a condom on. What I should have said was that was my massager. That's what I should have said. I ain't had to go all into that. What I should have said, that was my massager, and left it at that. Hold up. That wasn't what that moment was about. It was about showing him the correct way to put the condom on. That's it. Okay, okay. Right. Oh no, don't tell me she had the thing, the little. Yes, yeah. You don't tell me you thought it was Kool-Aid. I know you did not say roast beef. You was nasty, man. No, man. But boys are curious. The water gun thing just blew my mind. I mean, that just blew my mind.